Comedians are saying Dave Chappelle isn't that funny.
The only person who said something was Faison Love about him being a little overrated. Now, like I said, in movies, television, Dave Chappelle is elite. Elite. But if you go watch Dave Chappelle do stand-up,
fuck you can't get on me. I might jump on the stage with a stick on me. Every cornerback with me got a pick on him. Every Glock in it big got a dick on it. How you watching my live won't click on it. I'm a butt on a rolling, no tick on it. They ain't tell you about root, I got a kick on me. I just pray that my dog don't switch on me.
Reset TV, what's happening? Hope everybody's doing quite well. I am your host, gravitating away, and let's gravitate towards some BS, man. Depending how you see it. So right off the bat, Corey Holcomb drops yet another take about Dave Chappelle being unfunny, overrated. In a nutshell, he said several things.
Comedians are saying Dave Chappelle isn't that funny.
The only person who said something was Faison Love about him being a little overrated. Now, like I said, in movies, television, Dave Chappelle is elite. Elite. But if you go watch Dave Chappelle do stand-up, it was an old man at the Improv just stood up while Dave Chappelle was on stage, and he said, Dave, are you gonna crack some jokes? If I'm lying, I'm dying. Yeah. D-Ray that was down there. I know D-Ray, y'all don't want no parts of this. You don't want to burn bridges with the mighty Dave Chappelle. I don't want to burn bridges with the mighty Dave Chappelle. But fuck that, my nuts too big. I watch Dave Chappelle finna go up. I'll be like, well, shit, let me get the fuck out of here. Because he is not about to deliver. He's about to talk to the crowd like the big homie. You know how the big homie be talking and don't nobody say nothing? Everybody just be like, yeah, right, yeah. Then I'll be like, man, this nigga been bombing for about 2 hours up there. Man. Smoking a square with a leotard on.
But me, I think comedy is subjective, right? So for me, this video isn't necessarily about Corey Holcomb saying Dave Chappelle is overrated. Again, Dave Chappelle is not for everybody. Y'all remember not long ago, Dave Chappelle had a run-in with Donnell Rawlings, and they did their back and forth. And then Donnell said something profound. So let me drop that clip and I'll be right back.
I think comedians nowadays, they're trying to sell controversy over comedy. I wasn't there to watch Corey. I had performed myself and I was about to leave and they announced that Corey's about to perform. And I know that he had said some ill things about Dave Chappelle. I know he said some ill things about some of the openers of Dave Chappelle. So I just sat there, wanted just to see what his take on what he felt about comedy or whatever. I sat there and I just waited. And then when he made the comment about that anybody that's done 3 movies in comedy has performed fellatio, I said, wait a minute, I've done 3 movies, right? And I've never been accused of that. And then I also fact-checked his IMDb, and Corey himself has done 4 movies, so I think he might be guilty of his own joke. It's unfortunate it came to this. Should I have yelled out at him? No. But I've been rocking with my guy Dave Chappelle for years. I'm a little guy to my friends, my fans, and my family. And it was just, for me, it was a buildup. It was a buildup off of a lot of things that's troubling comedy. Corey is the type of comedy, he can go on stage, start with grunts, and by the end of it, you're laughing hysterically. I did not want to scream out at him, but I felt like protecting the integrity of myself and my friends, I thought I had to say something. I thought I had to say something for people out here that have done over 3 movies.
So basically, Donnell was explaining why he confronted Corey during the stand-up. Now, I don't agree with stuff like that, right? Corey got a set. No matter what Corey said that Donnell ain't like, I don't agree with popping up with somebody's trying to make their bread and you basically crashing out, right? And here's my thing. You don't have to like Corey Holcomb, but I thought Donnell was wrong, but I get it. Dave is Donnell's loyal friend and he had his dog's back, and Corey called a lot of people out, but you just don't confront nobody during a live set. I'm pretty sure that those are unwritten rules, right? For instance, when hecklers are running their mouth, comedians and fans alike shut it down. But Donnell said something to the extent of he knew he was wrong. At least he admit he was wrong, but he said it was a build-up. To those of you that don't know, Corey Holcomb is viewed as one of the most bitter comedians. Me, myself, growing up, Corey is up there for me personally. You know, when I want certain type of comedy, Corey is up there. You know, that edgy, rough, from the hood type of, you know, shtick per se. Corey's my guy. I like Corey. But that's one element of comedy. Comedy is a variety. So him saying Dave Chappelle is overrated, to each his own. Again, it's subjective. While you think Dave Chappelle is overrated, many people adore and love and revere him. Case in point, Aries Spears, another guy that has a lot of issues with Corey Holcomb. Matter of fact, let me just get straight to the point. Aries sued the hell out of Corey and won the case because Corey had Aries on there, and shout out to Zoe Williams. He, you know, sucker punch Aries, however you want to see it, and Aries wasn't chirping no more at that time, you know. Things got heated and they went back and forth until the fisticuffs got presented. But nonetheless, that's another comedian who has a bad history with Corey Holcomb. Well, Aries gave his 2 cents on the recent take by Corey saying Dave is overrated. Aries says, "This is the most horrible take ever. I'm a Dave Chappelle worshiper." I mean, that's kind of weird. I like Dave, but worshiper? Whatever, let's continue. "And Dave's track record for films is not elite. He did one movie that was considered a cult classic, Half Baked." Hey, shout out to Half Baked. If y'all ain't never seen that, especially my little potheads over there, y'all check that out. "And outside of the Chappelle Show, which is definitely a classic," yes it is, "Dave's strong suit has always been stand-up. He's like the Miles Davis of the art. Not the best one of the best. His style," he said, "if not the best one of the best. His style is smooth, highly intelligent, but at the same time rough and raw. When it needs to be, he's not a one-trick pony who only talks about one thing." I think that was a shot towards Corey, but I digress. "And his specials rival Carlin's and Pryor's." I would say I would agree. And Aries is responding to a particular part where Corey is basically saying that Dave is better on TV and that's his strong suit, which I thought that was definitely a horrible take, because Dave's bread and butter always has been stand-up. Always. I know some people are recently probably privy to Dave Chappelle from the Chappelle Show and then his recent last several years Netflix specials, but nah, Dave always has been a comedian mastermind. If y'all don't know, Dave was doing stand-up at 14, and this is documented. Got the whole club, you know, rolling. Like, Dave is the man. And I just think Corey has to be careful, because while I find Corey funny, a lot of people think Corey is a one-trick pony. If you are to be honest, like, you only talk about a certain element of comedy, and that's like through the lens and scope of the hood, of ninjas. And if that's your thing, that's your thing. I mean, hey, it made a way for you all these years. Keep doing your thing. But Dave is versatile to an extent that I think people don't think Dave is as funny as he was, because Dave switched up his comedy style. He's like that OG, as Corey said himself, that kind of story tells now. And if you don't have the patience or intelligence for that type of storytelling through the comedic lens, then you're going to find Dave boring. And I would have to agree to this point. Keep in mind, I love Dave Chappelle, but there's been a couple of times I said, dang, you know, because I was looking for the back-to-back punchlines, right? So I found myself stuck in a, I would say, pathway of comedy where I'm used to in terms of back-to-back punchlines, right? And I was waiting for the next punchline, but Dave went into a monologue. He went into storytelling, and I had to put my thinking cap on and get back to that type of dude. You feel me? And then I appreciated it. So you gotta understand what you're listening to and what you're looking at. And again, if you're not privy to that type of comedy, you only used to one trick ponies, you know, hood shit. Let's keep it a buck. A lot of niggas just used to hood shit. So when you step outside of that comfort zone, you might not find certain comedians funny. And that's just being honest. There were different type of comedy styles, and I think if you're a comedy fan, you should give your chance to get out of that box and check it out. Now, I just want to read through certain comments before my conclusion, because everybody has their own opinions. Some people said, "For What It's Worth" and "Killing Them Softly" were two of the best stand-up specials I've ever seen to date. Now, his new specials aren't as good. They have hilarious moments, but they aren't hilarious top to bottom like his old shit. But I don't really count Old Man Dave. Somebody said, "I don't disagree. What I will say is the Dave Chappelle you see today does not have the same comedic style of Dave Chappelle before his so-called Africa trip back in 2004. I would have to agree with that. Dave came, into a comedic realm where he had more perspective. He just went through something rough with Comedy Central. They were playing with the man with his controlling, position within that show, his creative control, that is. And, that man said, "I'm gonna leave 50 million at the table." It takes a strong person to do that. And I'm sure Dave was thinking about deeper things other than making us laugh. You feel me? So he came back a different person. Someone else said, "People need to stay in their lanes. Corey is an expert at roasting, ribbing, playing the dozens, but his stage presence is lacking. Dave has timing, delivery, stays on topic, and punchlines mastered." Now, for me, I'm gonna be neutral on that because, as I said, I love Corey Holcomb personally. I think he's one of the greatest comedians in terms of the hood lane, right? Just a quick roast, the shit we did in school, like that type of thing. Corey is a masterclass. But when it comes to Dave and what he does, Corey and him are just two different things. You feel me? And it's okay. I think sometimes we lose our mind on who we like, and then we just want to go in on somebody. I say it's Corey's opinion, let him have his opinion. But because Corey has said this before in the past, and if you was listening to Corey's, I won't say rant, but his breakdown of how he views Dave Chappelle, it does come across a little hateful because Corey starts adding 2 cents, right? Me and D-Ray was at a stand-up one day and an old man stood up and said, "Dave, when you're gonna get to the jokes?" Like, that's a little extra. That comes across like you're trying to make the man look bad. But look, when it's all said and done, right? Just recently, Dave comedy album just won yet another Grammy. So Dave is gonna be Dave. He's gonna have millions review him. Corey's gonna have his own fans. I think it's okay. You choose to pick who you want. But Corey, as somebody that really likes you, bro, you come across as negative as hell, my nigga. Like, most of your co-hosts never last on that show. I really like Craig Smith. If y'all don't know Craig Smith, check some of his work from All Def. Craig is, up and coming for the last several years. I think this dude is dope, very intelligent. I think Craig has what it takes to do whatever he want to do. But as Corey's so-called sidekick, be careful, Craig, because damn near everybody Corey had on 5150, he beefed with them. Every new show on 5150, if it's not Corey telling you about somebody with a broken wrist, somebody, you feel me, kissing ass to make it where they at, bruh, the shit look crazy. Because for me personally, I don't mind talking about certain things, right? But I'm gonna lean on my own talent. I'm gonna bet on myself where I'm gonna talk about, you feel me, positivity personally, not all that negative shit. Because what happens is people remember the things you say and they stamp it on you. Corey, for whatever it's worth, is viewed as somebody that's bitter before he's viewed as somebody that's funny. Now, two things can be true at the same time, but I think for most people, before they'll tell you Corey is definitely funny, they're gonna tell you Corey be coming across as jealous. But man, what say y'all in the comment section, man? How y'all feel about all of this? Do y'all think Dave Chappelle is overrated? keep in mind, comedy is subjective. Dave has transitioned into another style of comedy. He doesn't do one-liners anymore, back-to-back punchlines. He's more into monologue, storytelling from a place of wisdom. But still, I would like to know what y'all think about all of this in the comment section. If you're new to my channel, man, go ahead, tap in, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you've been doing that, man, you a real one, yo. You a real one. I appreciate it. But I'ma holla at y'all. And one thing that does need a reset, it's not just the comedy world. It just seems like as black folks, we can't give an opinion without coming across like we hating, yo. I mean, that's just my perspective on it all. Corey could have said what he was trying to say without coming across like he was hating. And that's what it sounded like. But I know, end of the day, Corey Holcomb is one of those hard workers. But I think it's because of his attitude and disposition that a lot of doors close. It's not just because you wasn't down with the broken wrist crew, Corey. I don't think it was just that. I think it's also how you come across, but I could be wrong. Y'all let me know, and I'ma holla at you.